but we have a vision, we have a hope, we have this idea in our head that things can be different and that I can help make them different for other people. If I can make them different for me, I can help make them different for other people. And the thing that we know is that mediocrity is the rapacious creditor, is sneakily coming into our lives and taking the wind and taking the air out of our lungs, just so that we show up at life always short of breath and always short of the things that we need, always short of the courage that we need, always short of the passion that we need, always short of that just extra gear that we need to get the things that life has waiting for us on the other side of the resistance that's constantly trying to pull us back to who we were, rather than having a vision that pushes us forward to who we were meant to be. I heard a story this week by Ed Milet was telling a story, and he said he was at a gas station with his little boy, and this gentleman, he was an older gentleman, said to him, he's like, enjoy him while he's 7 because next year he'll be 8, and that's so much different. And Ed Milet just said, yep. And then he thought for a second. He asked the guy, when did that change for you? When did that change for you? When did we stop? When did we give up? When did we give up without even committing to it? Right? That's what I see. See, stopping isn't a problem. Staying stopped is just quitting with no commitment. Right? That's the problem. That's the problem, is most people have given up long before they die. See, I know things are financially different for you now, Jordan. I know when you came in here that you had made $100,000 a year before. I know that you had been successful. You owned multiple businesses before, right? And still own some of those businesses. I know the money was right. You were making $100,000 back then. Do you mind sharing what you're making now on a monthly basis?
Yeah. So, I made. My best month was last month. I made 30,000.
Think about this: going from 100,000 a year to 30,000 a month, right? And let's just say that's not a regular month. Let's say it's 25,000 a month. How would your life change? How would your relationships change? See, everybody thinks that they are going to change when they make the money. If I had more money, then my relationships will be better. I can promise you this, that our money is not going to get right until we get right. That our money will not get right. And some people are like, well, I'm not in this for the money. You can't take it with you. Yeah, but there are a few things that we can. There are some things that we can take with us. We can take our potential. We can take that with us. That's something we can take with us. And I swear the graveyard has more potential than any other place in the nation, right? We can take our purpose just by never living it out, just by never getting it out. We can take our purpose just because we refuse to make 10 more dials. I remember early in this business, I told Casey, I don't need to make $250. I'm better than that. You guys don't know about me, right? It was so much ego. So much ego was blinding me, and it almost worked. It almost kept me. It almost put me in a position where I couldn't continue working here. See, I was about to quit. And Casey asked me an important question. He said, we know what you believe, but we're not sure what you're willing to do about it. Because what we see you putting in less and trying to get more, when here you need to put in the most to get the most. Are you willing to do that? Because if you're so good at $150, imagine how great you would be at 300. And see, I just wanted to reserve that little piece in case I failed, because that was going to be a lifeboat onto my next opportunity. And that reservation was exactly what was going to keep me from living the life that I was intended to live, having the quality of relationships that I was intended to have. See, I started here at $75,000 in my first year. That's not my best year of income. That was just my first year here. I did that in 30 to 35 hours a week. What a gift. What a freedom to my life. But when I finally learned the lesson that you can go fast on your own, but in order to go far, you have to go together. And I started finding other people who had that same drive, had the same character, had the same desire as me, and they were willing to do something about it. They were willing to work for it. That's when things changed. When I was willing to do the most to get the most, that's when things change. When I stopped saying, well, my future, the things I want in the future are dependent on my energy level now, that's when things changed. I just decided to stop thinking about being tired and start just doing the work and measuring it from the finish line, measuring it in hindsight instead of measuring it as we go. And that's exactly what you're talking about. That's exactly what you're talking about, because we can take our potential to the grave. We can take our purpose can remain in the graveyard. Our vision. If we're not willing to act on it, if we're not willing to work faithfully, people hear that word faith, they're like, well, I'm not a person of faith. Well, that might be the problem. And it's not about what you believe, it's about how it affects you. I truly believe that it is about how it affects you. And see, what my faith tells me is that it's not that I do more than other people, it's just that I'm willing to give up more. It's just that I'm willing to give up more and I'm willing to sacrifice more. And my faith is going to cost me something because I want it to be worth something at the end of the day. We can take our legacy. We can take our legacy to the grave. We can absolutely take our legacy. And there's a lot of things that we can take of our own, but there's some things that we take that aren't ours to take. And we can take opportunity. We can take opportunity. And for me, like I said, I'm lazy. It's easy for me not to get out of bed. That's simple, right? And now I live a life where I don't have to, and I don't want to stay in bed. It's weird how things work that way. But before, it was like I was ready for socialism or communism or some sort of ism where I got paid for not doing much, right? That's what I was ready for, right? But it turns out that when we have big reasons, we do big things. And see, my big reason was I said that I was going to be a good dad. But what I saw that my life was doing, what I was doing, I wasn't being a good dad. I was being an absentee father who just sent checks. The thing that represented me most in my house up till my son's 3rd birthday was the amount of money that I brought, not the presents that I had, because I certainly wasn't present when I was home. I was just entitled to everybody else's care. They weren't entitled to mine. There was nothing intentional about it. I was a hero at work and a zero at home. I was a joke, right? But I got to come to a place where they said, you don't have to give up your life for your business. You can build a business that builds your life, that takes care of that lifestyle. And what I realized when I came here was it's got to be about something more than me. And so I knew it was about my son for me. I knew it was about my son because I know what my parents did for me. They didn't make me start at home base. They allowed me to start at first base. They allowed me to start where they had gotten to. And see, we can pull that away from other people just because we decide to quit. We hear one no and we're too sensitive. We're too fragile to take it. Understand that wasn't a no to you, it was to your product. Don't take things personally that aren't personal. Do the work. Get to the next yes. We go do a couple of virtual appointments and then we quit because we don't get the results. We aren't stealing from ourselves. We're stealing from those people who were counting on us to get to a certain place so they could start there. But instead, now they have to walk the walk that we were supposed to walk. They have to live the purpose that we were supposed to live. They have to do our job because we refused to do it because we got our feelings hurt, because we got lazy. And that's just not enough. It's not enough. And I don't get emotional because I get so emotional because I'm afraid that somebody is going to watch this and they're going to think that this doesn't apply to them. And then they're going to realize years down the road that it did the whole time. And now they don't have what it takes. See, that's why I sacrifice what I have now, because I know what it cost me to get it. I don't know what I have if I'm going to be able to sacrifice the things in the future because they might be worth too much to me. So how much can I sacrifice now? How much can I plant now? How much of my son's future can I give him rather than stealing it from him by not being the man that I need to be today? And I love what Ed Milet says. I am in crisis today. I'm in crisis for my son. I'm in crisis for the leaders of this team. I'm in crisis for the company. I'm in crisis for myself. I'm in a deep crisis. And that crisis is the fact that I know I'm who I need to be for today, but I know I'm going to need to be better for tomorrow. And my crisis is becoming that person, making those different decisions, taking those different actions, growing myself, finding out what book is the next version of myself in. What thought processes do I need to adapt to next? Because I know that any book I don't read, my son will have to read because he doesn't, because I didn't do my job. Any dial I didn't make, my family is going to have to do that because I decided to take my legacy with me to the grave, and now he's got to live a life in my death clothes. I'm just not willing to make to force him to make sacrifices because I'm not willing to make them now. Right? See, everybody's got a mission, but nobody's willing to die for it. Let's get to this place. Let's get to this place where we get broken, about the times where we gave up on ourselves. Let's get broken about the times where we tried to find in other people the things we couldn't find in ourselves because we weren't willing to do the work. Let's get broken about being in crisis for other people because you want them more than anything to see what this opportunity has for them. And one thing that I want to be completely clear about is I may have started here at 75, but I remember when I went from 75 a year to 75 a month, but being here for 5 years. I remember when I stopped wanting to make 100,000 and now I have to pay 100,000 in taxes. Your life will change. Your life will change. Like, people don't think, oh, well, you got to pay 100,000 in taxes. You must be making crazy money. Yes. Yeah. It's great. I get to make $134,000 a month. That's the money I make, but that's not the difference I make. That's just the pay I got for the difference that I made before. The difference in between who I was and who I am today. That's what I'm getting paid for that. I'm getting paid for the difference. And first we have to, instead of just wanting to make a difference in somebody else's life, we just have to start with our own. And that's where it starts with an 8-ounce glass of water. That's where it starts with 30 seconds of stretching. That's where it starts with the decision to make dials and the actions that follow that. That's what starts with deciding that I stopped, but I don't need to stay stopped. I don't need to blame myself back then. I just need to encourage myself right now and know that if they can do it, I can too. And this is waiting on the other side of me because I know this, that my 130,000 a month will not be affected whether you do this or don't. But I promise you, your future will. Your family will. I just refuse, Jordan. I refuse to steal things from my son and take him to the grave with me. I will not do that, and he will know better. And I just want I want you to realize. I want you to realize, the people who are still plugging into this, the 73 people who are still plugging into this, because the bottom 10% always leaves too early. The bottom 10% always quits just too soon, just right before the magic happens. They quit. I want you 73 people to know that you have what it takes. You are everything you need to be. You've got everything that you need, because there's been people with much less than you who have done much more than you here. There's been people who have a lot less talent who have gotten to the top of this company. There are people with a ton less skill and experience who are now at the top of this company. They've earned their way up there. If we don't, I love what Aaron was talking about, right? If we don't couple our talent with effort, our unique talent with effort, it's just unrealized potential. And that's what we're going to take with us. And that's a gift that we're going to not be able to give to other people. Especially our family, especially those people closest, especially those other people who are counting on you to be your best, to show them how to be their best, right? Let's get it out of our heads that, oh, well, I'm not good on the phone. Well, are you willing to be good at life? Are you willing to suck on the phone for long enough to get really great at business and to be the type of person that somebody is waiting for right now, just saying, man, I hope there's another opportunity in this world because I feel like I'm in this place. I feel like I'm trapped and I feel like I built the cage around myself and I just need somebody's help to get out. And I thank God that Edward made that call to me several times, offered me this opportunity, even though in my stubbornness, I said no. He knew I was the right person at the wrong time. And when it became the right time, I got to partner with him, and I could live a dozen lifetimes and still not have enough time to express my gratitude, not for the money that I make. That's amazing, right? But for the difference it has made in my life, for the difference in the relationships, the fact that I get to travel wherever I want, whenever I want. I'm going to put a trailer on the back of my pickup truck and go driving out west for a month. You know who I had to ask for that? I'd ask my son if he's into it. I'd ask him for permission, of all people, right? Because I own my life. I own my life. Don't take what's not yours with you to the grave. Give it away. Don't try to take to get. Be willing to give it all away. Because I love what you said, Jordan. I don't need to die old. I just need to die empty. Empty of all the gifts, all the potential, all the purpose, all the vision, right? Of all the work, of all the grit, of all the resilience that we have. And I invite you into a life where you stop working for a living and you start doing a life's work. A work that's going to matter so much longer than you're here. A work that people may never remember your name, but they can never forget. They can never forget the sacrifices you made and the effort you put in, because that's been a template for how your family has gotten to live from then on forward. And right now, today, we have an opportunity to make that change, make that difference, and to change our family tree. We've got an opportunity to live the legacy. And it starts with one dial 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago. It starts with one dial 3 minutes ago. And that was the best time to make that dial. But unfortunately, I kept you longer here, right? But now, as we get off this phone, what are we going to do? Are we going to think about the success that we're going to have, or are we going to get out and earn it? Because I encourage you to do what it takes to get out and earn it, and stop settling for the mediocrity that can sucker us all into the lie that says you're not enough. Because I'm telling you, you are, but you have to prove it. And if you're willing to prove it, this is the right team. This is the right time. The fences are down and the whole country is our territory. Our business expenses are lower than ever. Our profitability is higher than ever. Our clients need us now more than ever. More than ever, they need us right now. There's more talented winners and leaders out there looking for a new team to play for than ever. And we've been deemed essential. I think words are important. See, I don't believe that I'm not essential. I think that I'm essential in my life. I think that I'm essential in my son's life. I think I'm essential in my family's life. I think I'm essential in my business. I think I'm essential in those places. And so I behave that way. And when I don't, I pick myself up. I forgive myself for what I've done wrong, because I do that every single day, multiple times a day. And I just get back to work and stop thinking about the past and start thinking about that potential and how damn hard I'm willing to work to get that out of me right now. Right now. And that's one thing that I will tell you, is that we can talk about doing it. We can talk about what we've done, but nothing's ever going to replace doing it right now. Doing it right now. We are the team. We're not a $300,000 a week team. We're a $500,000 a week team. That's who we are right now. I just feel like some of us aren't given what we have to give. And I want to encourage you that, man, that doesn't affect me. Whether we do 300 or 500 a week, it doesn't affect me at all, but it will affect your family and your future. And it's not enough for you. It's not enough for me, for you not to get everything you want here. I want that for you, but you're going to have to be willing to earn it. Just like the rest of us did. So come here and earn it. And then just when you think it's time to quit, earn it again. And just when you think you can't go on anymore, earn it again. And earn it again, and earn it again, and earn it again, and earn it again, until there's nothing left to earn. Until there's nothing left to earn, because you've earned the respect. You've earned your present. You've earned your life. You've earned your family. You've earned those things rather than being entitled to them and leaving this world empty-handed because you kept all your gifts and you never gave them away to the people who needed them the most. We have an awesome opportunity. We have an awesome opportunity with this company. We have an awesome opportunity to become the best we can be by helping others. We have an incredible opportunity to do that. We have an incredible opportunity to share what we have with other people as well.